Stop consuming and start creating. Have you ever fallen victim to the creating and consuming dynamic? I think it's safe to say that almost all of us get caught up in this consuming mindset, and we really don't realize it after a while, but it becomes a part of our daily workflow sometimes, and even a big part of our life. In this video, I want to show you my content ecosystem that I work with in my business that actually allows me to create more than I consume. I know, interesting, right? So before we get into it, I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Liz. I am the head photographer and content strategist here at Essence Presents. We help wellness businesses, crafters, and creative solopreneurs streamline content marketing and creation so that they can get back to doing what they love most, which is their business. I'm all about removing the fluff and getting straight to the point, but I do want to let you know that in this video, I am actually going to be showing you my screen and taking you through one of the templates that I've created for free that you can have access to. It is called the Monthly Editorial, and it is a tab within a master spreadsheet that also has other tabs that could absolutely help you out when it comes to content marketing for your business. So if you are interested in following along with me within this tool, definitely click the link below and get the Content Marketing Master spreadsheet right to your inbox, and we can do this together. Before we dive in headfirst, I want to let you know that I am in a phase of learning what you guys want to hear most from me. And with that, I encourage you to comment something that you believe would help you out when it comes to content marketing and creation, and I will help you out the best I can through my content, or I will answer your question in the live stream that is coming at the end of this month, March 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's on a Saturday. I will do my best to gather comments and answer those that I get in my inbox or in the comments section. So if you have a question, if you want to learn more, or you just need help with content marketing for your small business, please leave a comment below. All right, guys, let's dive into it. We are into the Monthly Editorial tab in the Content Marketing Master spreadsheet. So again, if you want to download this for yourself and have this available to you, it will automatically make a copy once you click the link in the PDF that you'll get, and you will have this for yourself. If you're interested in that, just click the link below, put in your email, and that will get sent right to your inbox. We are in the Monthly Editorial tab, and what this really is for organizing on a monthly cadence your content and your to-dos and even your goals. And so when it comes to creating more than we consume, this is the whole goal of this video. We need to build structures around our content that are gonna make it easy for us to create more than what we consume. Obviously, consuming can be good, but up to a certain point, I realized, and especially in my journey, that when I consume more and more, creating feels less and less accessible. And so the major key point here is to build structures that you want to maintain on a monthly basis. Now, why a monthly basis? I find that as a small business owner myself, as a creative myself, there's a balance that you need to really work with when it comes to weekly to-dos and monthly to-dos, right? When we are in our weeks and we're really working with our daily workflow, right? That's like the best way to categorize a daily workflow is by week, right? We can understand that, okay, next week I'm going to have the same daily tasks as I do this week. If I had monthly goals and I worked them out into weekly tasks, then that means that I'm able to build my daily workflow around my monthly goals. And what does that do? That allows you to basically see a much bigger view of your business throughout one calendar year and say, okay, I want to put out 24 really high quality, good pieces of content in 1 year. That sounds so small, but when you think about it, if you lay things out in a monthly basis and you make sure that you do at least one thing or two things every month when it comes to your content, you then have this cadence that lasts you the whole year and allows you to stay consistent. So My whole kind of strategy here is building yourself the structures that are going to allow you to stay consistent with creating. And therefore, absorbing content and taking in content is not going to feel like it's taking over your life. Instead, you are going to constantly have something to create. You're constantly going to be working on the thing that you're creating, and you're going to feel like an active participant in your online presence. That is the goal, right? Okay, so as you can see here, I've laid things out as a template, obviously. And when you come in here, it's going to look exactly like this. All I did was basically copy this over to my master spreadsheet. What this is showing here is your business name. So you can change this to whatever your business name is. And right under, we have the day of the month, right? This is going to be the first of the month, the second of the month, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and so on and so forth. The reason why I really love working in a monthly basis, other than what I already have said about reaching your goals for the year, is the fact that there's always 30 or 31 days. So therefore, you could use me as an example. Because I'm not full-time in my business yet, I thought to myself, one of my top priorities this year is email marketing, okay? And what is the best way to consistently create content when you aren't full-time in your business yet and you want to just be able to have a system that is already outlined for you where it's just going to be easier for you to create? What that translates to me is my newsletter is going to go out, see newsletter here, every 15th of the month. So I'm going to write publish newsletter on the 15th. I would say most businesses that are full-time either put out a monthly newsletter or they put out a weekly kind of check-in, or they do potentially a bi-monthly 2 times per month email. So for me, I've been doing a monthly newsletter for about, a year now. And I just decided to do 2 emails a month because I'm able to now, with everything that I manage, I'm able to now add that on because I see the value in it now. So I'm going to also say in the newsletter area on the 30th of the month that I want to publish another newsletter. If you guys can hear my Frenchie snoring, he's so ridiculous, but so cute. This is what it's basically going to look like. Now, this is where the magic happens. So right now it is February 12th, right? If I click on this column, I'm going to be able to see everything that I fill in when it comes to my monthly content goals. Let's fill this in just to see an example of this in action. I've got my 2 emails for the month already in. Now, another really important thing is, yes, you can put in like the publish date of the email that you want to be sent out. So I want to send my email out the 15th and the 30th. But I'm not just sending out the email on the 30th and the 15th. I'm preparing a few days before that. That's just how it works for me. So I'm going to write prep for newsletter. And I'm going to just copy, paste, right? About 4 days before each newsletter, I want to prep. So there we go. Now, when it comes to your membership subscription, I personally do not have this yet. What I also do is a blog every single week. Now, this is where it gets tricky with a monthly timeline because you don't have the days set up. But what you can do is divide it into 4 roughly. So if you want to publish your blog roughly on the 1st, you would say publish. And now, if you want to prep 4 days before that, we're going to go to the 31st and say prep for blog, or let's say write blog. And we're going to do that for the past 4 days. And of course, some months we don't have the 31st, so I'm going to actually add another one. We're making it easy for ourselves, okay? For me, it's every week. So basically every 7 days. So 1 to 7, and then we're going to do it on the 8th again. We're going to say publish. So we're going to do it for 4 days before that. And we can even just copy and paste this on the next publish date. So this can get obviously a little bit less organized when you're working on a weekly schedule. So what I recommend is to just be really rough with this. If you always want to have a date that you publish blogs, right? Say you would rather go by the number. We could actually do the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, and actually, instead of this, we're going to do the 22nd. And that way we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's consistent every single month. So there might be a bit more space here for the end of the month, but that's basically the idea. And you can, of course, create this however you want it to look. But if we know that we are publishing a blog on the 1st, on the 8th, on the 15th, and the 22nd, then we do have a bit of a break at the end of the month, typically, and then we can focus on the monthly roundup newsletter a little bit more. So that's how you can also think thoroughly about what you have going on. So this time of the month is going to be super busy already. Therefore, I'm not going to really add much else around this time of the month because I know it's going to get a little hectic. Now let's use today as an example, okay? Today is February 12th. So if I highlight this column, I can see everything that I need to be doing to reach my monthly goals. And it's all about creation, right? This is all reaching your goal of creation. And most people have a goal of doing multiple pieces of content a month. And that's why it's so helpful to see a monthly view. And it's also gonna keep you on track for developing this awesome outline that allows you to just create and not sit back and just willy-nilly create when you get inspired by anything. It's different than that. Now we can have this open on a tab like every day if we want, and we can see everything that's going on the 12th. So today, if this were my actual workflow, which I have one that's a bit more all-encompassing, which is actually the task plan in the Content Marketing Master spreadsheet. So if you download that, you'll see the monthly editorial and you'll also see the task plan. That one is a bit more elaborate. It's more of an elaborate version of this. And instead of the monthly dates being on top, it's actually on the side. So it helps for some people to see it that way. It also helps to see it this way in some instances. Today I'm highlighting this because I think it's great when you are somebody who works mainly on a monthly timeline. And so I would be prepping for the newsletter today and writing the blog. And so what this really does, especially if you do it this way, as I've done, you don't know what's going to happen. And most people, I would say, I don't want to say I'm like most people. I'm pretty quick when it comes to writing and prepping content, only because I've been doing this for years and years. But I think for most people, things will come up. We can't always predict what's going to happen in a month. We can't predict if something, for instance, you get sick and you can't write your blog for 2 days out of these 4 days that you were prepping to write it. So that is why it is so important to give yourself time to prep for things. So if I had a monthly subscription, and which I also plan on doing, my goal for that with where I'm at this time is I want to upload photos and videos and graphics as well as copy every month. And I want it to all happen on one day, where it's first of the month, we get March photography, March video, March graphics, and March copy. And so what that would look like here is, I don't know, I would write like major content upload day. Now, of course, the last week of the month would have to be all prep and all, I guess, final editing. So we're going to take from the first, we're going to add 7 days prior, right? And if you're not catching on yet, this is an evergreen template. I should have said this in the beginning, but this is an evergreen template. So it doesn't change month to month. It's mainly your monthly editorial, meaning the dates that things go out. And it is by date that things go out. So for instance, you want to publish a blog every 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd of the month, right? That's 4 blogs a month. And those dates are always consistent, right? That's your goal. And therefore, every 21st, 20th, 19th, and 18th, you have prep days. And say you finish on the 19th because you went really hard on the 18th and 19th, cool. Now you have this area free and you can do the other things that are on your content editorial outline on your timeline. We have a major content upload day. Now I'm going to count 7 days prior to the 31st, but I'm actually going to add one because sometimes we have 30 days. So what I'm actually going to do is, this is a little trick. You can merge the cells and say final content editing week. It's not really a publish week because we want to publish on the 1st. So I'm actually going to make this known, and what you can do all sorts of things. You can make it so that it's bold and it's okay. I know that on the 27th, I am working on my final content for the membership. I'm prepping for the newsletter, and I'm also writing the blog. So this is where you can see where if you also wanted to batch content, you could divide things into stages instead of doing things on a consistent weekly basis. So I will give you a little bit of insight into my content workflow right now. My content workflow looks a little bit like this. I plan for one whole week. I give myself 1 week to plan my 4 long form pieces of content. Reason I do that is because I want to give myself enough time to get quality content planned out. And by planning, I basically give myself the outline of what I want to say. 2nd week of the month is creating. 3rd week of the month is editing. And 4th week of the month is publishing. I give myself a week for each major stage of the content process. And so for me, I am planning each, for instance, if we're looking at this, I'm planning each of these blogs all in 1 week. Instead of me having to write things every day of the month and multiple days of the month, I basically spend a concentrated week, a concentrated amount of time writing the concepts out. I'm writing it out. I'm doing all of the key points just so that when I'm talking on video, I can extrapolate in there. And then once I have the transcript, because I use Descript to upload my videos, and what that does is it takes my talking head videos and it gives me a written version of what I say, which is so valuable. And what I do with that is I copy it and I paste it into ChatGPT. This is all AI. It's how I'm utilizing AI authentically. Copy and paste what I say into ChatGPT, and I say, hey, make this into a blog, but make it personable, make it engaging, and make it sound exactly like me. And ChatGPT already knows me because I've done the due diligence of 20 questions and prompts that allow the ChatGPT to know me, my voice, my audience, everything. So it basically already knows me, and it can allow for my voice to come out while also using my voice as the guide to create a really awesome blog. So this is a little addition to the video, but I thought that it might be helpful for you to know my process because there are options with this. You don't always have to write and create, basically do the whole thing I just said, plan, create, edit, and publish. You don't have to do that on a weekly basis. You could do all those steps spread out throughout the month. That's what's worked for me really well. And I choose the times of the month that I have the most energy. I'm a woman, so I do go through phases throughout the month, and I pick my creation time to be the time where I am the most energized. And us women, we know when that is, right? Okay, back to the monthly editorial. So let's finish this up just so we can see everything else that's going on. So this is our major content upload day. We can put all of these things in red so that we know that, hey, there's a major deadline right here. And that, I think, is going to help us a lot with our creation. So we're going to add that here, and there we go. We have all of the published dates. We have our major content upload day. And so if this is the final content editing week, we're going to work backwards. what needs to happen in order for me to be in the editing phase if I'm talking about my 4-stage method of creating content. So if publishing happens on the 1st, editing happens the last week of the month, we need time to do the planning and the creating. So we could even just do it like this. Creating would be 7 days prior to this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our, you know what? I'm going to do 8 because something is off here. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to make this big now because this is a big week or a big line. This is our create content week. So final content editing week should actually be the prepping for publishing, I'm realizing. So instead of final content editing should actually be here. Planning and creation should be divided into this, right? So we're giving ourselves a week for everything, which is awesome. So here I'm going to merge. This is our planning week. This is our content creation week. And then this would technically be our editing week. Okay, so I've color coded it to make it just easier on the eyes, but this is what it looks like. We are organizing this so that we can see what we have going on. For me, I am experimenting with no social media. I am only doing long form, impactful content right now. And so I am taking a pause on that. But if I were to be doing social media content, it would be a version of my blog content, and it would be updated every single time I publish. So if I publish a blog on this day, this is for my people who want to know how to go about social content in the easiest way. These are all my little tidbits. This video has turned into just all my little tactics and tips. And if I were to publish a blog on the 1st, for social media, I would be writing and creating content, whether it's talking head, B-roll videos, or graphics, carousels, image graphics. I'd be creating content about this blog because what is that doing? It's promoting this going live, and it's bringing people back to my website. It's saying, hey, this blog you haven't read yet. Hey, this was on my blog. And the more value you can add in this blog, that's why we're giving you so much time to prepare for that. If you go on that monthly kind of plan, edit, create, and publish schedule, that's how your blogs can be really valuable because you're giving it a lot of time, a lot of thought, a lot of effort. And then you have all these content ideas to create. I personally am not a full-time business, so I don't have time to really do social media. But if I were talking to somebody else in my same shoes and you really wanted to be on social media, I would highly recommend that you download a tool like Descript. It actually is paid for. I pay $20 a month for it. I think I get a certain amount of uploads, maybe 4 uploads a month. And I would create snippets out of my talking head videos or my longer form content. That is going to be your lowest hanging fruit way to actually have a social presence if you're already creating long form content and you just want the social presence. So one last time, let's go back into it and see, for instance, what I would be doing on February 12th, today, every single month, March 12th, April 12th, May 12th. It's all going to be the same because this is an evergreen monthly editorial. On the 12th, I highlight the column that says 12 right here. And I know that this is the content creation week. So I am out and about. I'm creating stock photography based on what my community wants. I'm creating graphic templates. I'm also creating copy templates. So that's going to take up a good amount of my time, not all my time, but a good amount of it. I'm also going to be prepping for my newsletter coming out in the middle of the month. And I'm also going to be writing my blog. This is, of course, if you want to work on a weekly basis with your blog. As I've said to you, I have a framework for working more on a monthly basis with your weekly blogs. It's been a lifesaver for me. I highly recommend doing something like that. And if you guys want a video on exactly what that is, I can do a deep dive on it. Just let me know if you'd like that. I hope that this video really helped you out. I am just so passionate about this stuff, and I want to help as many small creative crafter wellness businesses as possible because I relate to your experience. I was a wellness business owner in 2020. I went all in and all I did was create content because it felt like the thing I could do, and I lost sight of the business. And I don't want you to lose sight of your business just because there is this new entity in the world called content creation. I want you to be able to streamline it so that you can really hone in on what you love doing, not spend more time on creating content. Okay, so if this was helpful, please give it a like. It really helps me to know what kind of content you guys love. And again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have any ideas for future content from me. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.